It's so wonderful to see so many people here at the end of what has been a special day for people, not just in Luton, but throughout the whole country. Earlier today, many of us will have gathered around the war memorial here and reflected with solemnity upon the events of World War I and the many subsequent conflicts that have afflicted our world since. Perhaps the most enduring symbol of Remembrance Day is the poppy, and I'd like to thank the hundreds of local children who made these light-up poppies over the October half-term. Not only that, but we will hear local poet Lee Nelson read a famous World War I poem, and local artists Raina Riaz, Deb Knight and Tai Chumala perform original poems that will invite us to explore the hugely relevant themes of remembrance, loss and ongoing, longing with a particular reference to our town Luton. Not only that, but I am honoured to be able to give certificates to 2 children who have played a special part in today's commemorations. Fatima from Chorney Girls' School designed this 2018 lapel badge which celebrates peace, remembrance and Luton. Also, if I can ask Blake from Tennyson Road Primary School, who's designed this postcard for tonight's attendees. There we go. Towards the end of our time together, we will be hearing from the Salvation Army Band and the Luton Choral Society. This evening we will conclude our programme of Armistice Day commemorations, but I would like to take this opportunity to remind you of our wider 2018 and 19 programme. In addition to what we have been thinking of now, we also have events that will celebrate 100 years since some women got the right to vote. The 2019 Peace Riots, and next year we will also be introducing our pilot year of culture under the theme People, Power, Passion. We hope to see as many of you as possible at these forthcoming events. On behalf of the Council, I now invite you to join us in reflecting upon Poppies, poetry and projections. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Anthem for Doomed Youth by Wilfred Owen. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns. Only the stuttering rifles' rapid rattle can patter out their hasty orisons. No mockeries now for them, no prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs, the shrill demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all? Not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall. Their flowers, the tenderness of patient minds, and each slow dusk, a drawing down of blinds.
This poem has been written by Jim Tomlinson about his grandfather. His grandfather lived in Beach Road in Luton. Like so many of his generation, Jim didn't know his grandfather, so he wrote this poem with those in mind, not just for himself. He's an ex-serviceman who now lives in Gosport. He's not able to come here tonight to read this poem, and so I'm very proud that I've been asked to do it on his behalf. This poem has also been read by his sister, who lives in Australia, and it was read last year at Anzac Day, which I think shows the reach of some of the history that we've been looking at today. So the poem. The Great War, 1914 to 1918, a poem for heroes. I never knew my granddad, nor ever did his son. At the birth of his child, he went to war, never to come back to the land where he was born. I never knew my granddad, but I know of where he went, to fight and dig the trenches, the reason he was sent. His pals were with him on the Somme, all doing the best they could, but always up against it, retreat they never would. They never thought to question, to give up or surrender, but many gave their lives for us, a peace we must remember. I never knew my granddad, but forget I never will, for what he did for freedom is not forgotten still. Now I know my granddad, he's always in my thoughts. As days go on, I still recall the sort of man he was. Now I know my granddad, a man who set me free, because he was a hero, life's been good to me. Bert Tomlinson was killed on the Somme on the 14th of November 1916. He's in an unknown, unmarked grave at Thiepval Memorial in Albert, France.
My name is Terry Hopper, and I'm a Lutonian. And I wrote this poem. It's about a young Tommy who's home from the front, and he's lying in the arms of his wife. It's called 1918 Sanctuary. For as I lay in your embrace, my breath be shallow, my heart doth race. The trench, the bugle, the distant drum, fight for country, defeat the Hun. So protected in your cocoon, daybreak looming behind the moon. Sleep it cowers and it creeps. Tears of mine I gently weep. Not tonight, well not for me. Safe and sound, for that I be. The dark, it's cold, a killer's friend. The night flame flickers, bows and bends. The shadows dance to a piper's tune, as we did that day in June. The day I marched with helm held high, for king and country, live or die. Young men together, comrades in fear, maidens calling, hip hip, three cheers. The front, the gas, ahead barbed wire, the stink, the stench of God's hellfire. Bully beef and ration stew, last letters home from me to you. Dearest sweetheart, love of my life, dearest mother, precious wife. Signing off with yours devoted, all my love and sugar-coated. Kisses sent, 1,000 score, each one delivered when at your door. Just let me live, please God, I pray, to see my love just one more day. So here we lay, safe and sound, hearts entwined, emotions bound. And as the eve does turn to light, my candle salutes its last good night.
This piece, the parts of it I'm going to be reading, is called A Journey of 100 Years and was written by Raina Riaz. A journey of 100 years starts with a single step. Let that be anger, fear, or call it what you will. You decide what drives the change and whether that change is for better or worse. A journey of 100 years, a voyage to remember the forgotten. The steps of the fallen resonate within every heartbeat, regardless of colour or creed. Their strength is our strength. Their struggle gave life to where we are today. We shan't forget their sacrifice, lest we forget ourselves.
When I was growing up, Remembrance Day wasn't for me. When I was growing up, my people weren't part of that memory. When I was growing up, our soldiers fell but still remained, swept away from memory, no history books with their names. We weren't present at the epitaph, no statue stood in our honour. There was no public holiday, no remembrance for people of colour. There were no poppies on Remembrance Day for us that died in the wars, that gave up their lives in the battles, that didn't help our cause. But that was when I was growing up. Now things are different. Now here I stand, proud and with reverence, to remember, lest we forget, to each day learn from history. I stand here in front of you because they lay down before me. Their blood those fields that runs through my veins. I am the legacy of these pains, and I remember with love and gratitude the gift they gave of such great magnitude. Here I stand in their honour, with them standing here beside me. 100 years apart, but yet we're still shaping history. I march on, forever forward, with our heroes in our mind. Their lives, their light, the thread that binds all of humankind. I carry that light forward. We together carry that light for this great sacrifice that gave us all life.
A journey of 100 years, following a map drawn by many diverse voices. Its compass of hope unites us, leading us down a single path towards a brighter future.
I hear, abide with me. I hear men and women singing in an old oak tree church. It's desperately outside, and there may be a war going on, but the British will always carry on. They're set on the ways like a forest full of birch. You can hear the fear in their voices, even though it's very minuscule, because they're hiding it. They have to. This is their life now, yet they still sing. Their seats are as uncomfortable as their bunkers, maybe even more so, but they did not come here to ease off. They came here to ask the Lord God for help and to wonder why this is all happening. I hear sirens. There is no sleep in World War I Britain, and even when you do doze off, you'll be woken up again. The sirens are louder than everyone screaming in the world at once at the top of their lungs. As soon as the war drums slam their eardrums and a dispatch of veterans like elephants to a hyena. The rush of the front fighting men, the medical men and the middlemen. There's a planet-sized distant memory of sleeping through the night. Now you'll have more chance of winning the lottery. You've got to fight for yourself, for your family, for royalty, and for the glory of sacrificing. I hear death. Men slump onto other men because their legs have run their course. The air around them becomes polluted with iron and they start grasping for breath. They're frantically gripping their comrades while both of them are weeping, and their last moan is, when will this all end? Interestingly, there were so many people who were in the war. People who tried to heal the unhealable, who tried to build the unbuildable, and the fighters who fought. Soldiers come in all different shapes and sizes and different cultures and minorities, different backgrounds, different countries, and different beliefs and different religions. But the children don't. Some of the children don't know because this is not what they were taught. I hear silence. It's wonderful, it's glorious, and it's so unrecognized, it's deafening. Be relieved, be joyful, and be happy, and be happiness. Where should we stand forgiveness? Where and when should we rest? Some refuse to wear the poppy, but we have a saying. Those who don't care, don't matter. On November the 11th, we wear red and black. Thank you for making the world 20,000 times more prominent and affectionate. We all remember.
A journey of 100 years. What lessons have we learned? No pain, no gain, they say. But in reality, what have we gained from the pain of the past? We may have put down our guns and regret the triggers we've pulled, but have we realised that words trigger deeper scars and unseen wounds? Do we still open our eyes to see colourless skies and hear empty cries, or have we learned to sympathise? Learn from our past mistakes. It's time to look back, to see what changes we can track. One man once said, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Let us not leap, let us not fly, but let us continue to soar.
Czekajcie na mnie.
Good evening, everyone. 100 years ago, at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month, after 4 dreadful years of carnage across our continent and beyond, the guns of war fell silent. The killing stopped, but the pain and the memories lingered on. A mere 20 years later, we discovered that the war that was intended to end all wars had done no such thing. As once more, the youth of our town left to fight in answer to their country's call. And since 1945, around the globe, servicemen and women of all faiths, creed, colour and nationalities have followed in their footsteps. They have continued to bravely place themselves in situations most of us dare not to think about. And each time the killing stops, the pain and the memories linger on. We are here today as individuals and as a community of proud Britonians, united by our pain, memories and gratitude. Pain from missing friends and family who made the ultimate sacrifice. Pain from scars, visible and invisible. We also reflect upon a world that still too quickly resorts to violence and force. Memories of happy times with those we loved. Memories that might have been but were stolen by conflict. Memories of sadness that time can never heal. Gratitude towards those who have given their lives, their freedom, their opportunities, their health, their future, so that we might enjoy all these things in quiet and peaceful times. So as we gather here today, with our pain, memories and gratitude, let us honour their memory in the best possible way, by doing all we can to promote peace and harmony, understanding and love, tolerance and understanding. Let us honour their sacrifice by the quality of our lives. Thank you.
Why not? Be quiet, please.
Thanksgiving, a mother for her children, England mourns for her dead across the sea. Flesh of her flesh they were, spirit of her spirit, fallen in the cause of the free. Solemn the drums thrill, death august and royal sings sorrow up into immortal spheres. There is music in the midst of desolation, and a glory that shines upon our tears. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them. They mingle not with their laughing comrades again. They sit no more at familiar tables of home. They have no lot in our labour of the daytime. They sleep beyond England's foam. But where our desires are, and our hopes profound, felt as a wellspring that is hidden from sight, to the innermost heart of their own land they are known, as the stars are known to the night, as the stars that shall be bright when we are dust, moving in marches upon the heavenly plain, as the stars that are starry in the time of our darkness, to the end they remain.
And together cry with me, remembering those brave men and women in our history. The battle's over. A nation's tribute remembers them one and all. Be proud and stand united. Don't let your memories fall. Confidence is what we need so that nations trust each other and all the races of mankind treat each other as a brother. Food for every living thing by nature is provided if we could only see that it was equally divided. The woods, the streams, the mountains high, the sea and golden shore were never meant to be the cause of senseless bloody war, or race for powerful armaments and sacrifice of youth, but a world of true contentment built on faith and trust and truth. Peace to the world.